All right, so I'm gonna show you guys what it should look like. So when you come in, you're gonna be pre-oxygenating your patient. So you're gonna be ventilating, you're gonna get everything set up. So you can get everything kind of set up here to the side. Somebody's gonna be ventilating, and then you're gonna be like, okay, last breath. And you're gonna keep their head kind of in an inline position, kind of like so, kind of the head back a little bit. You're gonna open the mouth, slide in from the right, go to the left, and we're gonna slide this in, and then this is what we're looking for. So if everybody can kind of come around and see, this is what we're looking for. So we're looking for the vocal cords right here.
Actually, you have a bougie, if you can just drop this real quick while Barnes has it visualized.
Yeah.
So what we want to be aware of, what I'm trying to do right now is when I'm holding this, I'm lifting up and out, almost like using a microphone, kind of pointing out. So
Show
I'm
what
not,
happens if you try to tilt it
because
instead.
if like I'm cranking it back, you see what I'm doing on his teeth? I'm snapping his teeth. I'm snapping his
Or if
teeth.
you
So
get
we
his,
want to kind of go up.
Lips caught in there, you're actually
Go
gonna rip
up
his
and
lips
out.
and it's gonna bleed all into his airway. Hey Barnes, here's a bougie. Just go ahead and drop that for him under video so they can see how it works. So this is to go one of two ways. This will either go right down through the vocal cords, if you're lucky, or it'll go all the way down into the esophagus. Either way, I leave it in, because if it's down in the esophagus, I know I can stay away from that area when I'm trying to intubate. But if this drops down between the cords right away, which you'll actually see on this this video scope, you'll actually be able to put your endotracheal tube right over this.
So you gotta get the bougie, and get this in. So you gotta kind of get your bougie to kind of bend how you want. So I didn't bend this one properly enough. So I want to get that good L, because if it's just straight, as you saw, it's just gonna kind of go straight down into the esophagus. So that way you kind of want it to get to kind of bend up a little bit, so you can kind of sneak it in.
This is another reason why we pre-oxygenate, is while you're doing this patient's not getting any ventilation or any oxygen.
So then we
So
get
if you
this,
pre-oxygenate, you have
and then we
about
just
2
slide
minutes of
it.
time before they start to desat.
straight into the vocal cords. If I had a little bit more manual lube, it would kind of slide in. So this is where we want our bougie to be. So when we go in, we want to actually be here in the vocal cords. So then what we could also do is we could take our tube. We're going to take this, and then I'll show you guys. I'm just going to slide this. Now as you're looking at this, we're just going to slide this all the way down into and past the vocal cords. All the way in, slightly past. Need that manual lube to get this going, and then we're going to take this out.
So important style
Tube
point.
comes out.
So when you're doing this, obviously in the field, if it's just you, it's gonna be hard not to keep your hand on that tube the whole time. But if you have a buddy, have someone hold that tube the whole time, because it doesn't take much to displace it. And the balloon, why are we inflating the balloon? What's the purpose of the balloon? So it helps to retain, but it also helps to prevent secretions from leaking down. It's not foolproof. Secretions will still get past the balloon, but it helps to prevent aspiration. And it also helps to prevent or keep the air flowing in that one direction, either in or out.
Like a slower rate.
Yeah.
The
And
excretions are
then,
gonna-
and then after we do this, as soon as we get this place, we're then listening to the esophagus or down in the stomach, lung, putting on our colorimetric, and then we're also taking note of our